at the Harbay Distillery Studio in Madison, where the free agents Ben and Reed, cheeseheadtalk.com. You know, Reed.
You know, Ben.
We haven't talked about our favorite team from Milwaukee in a little bit. It's been a while.
The Wave?
No. Are they having a good year?
The Admirals?
Did they have a good year?
I don't know.
The Brewers.
The Brewers. You know why we haven't talked about them, Ben?
They haven't made much news.
No, and they're going to be crappy. It's kind of we referenced Major League in our last segment. This is like when everyone's talking about the Indians in Major League.
Yeah.
I edited it.
A taxi. Hey.
Yeah.
That didn't work. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's kind of funny. There's subtitles.
Yeah, I know, Ben. People have seen the movie. For crying out loud, it was filmed in Milwaukee. All right.
I know, but the best thing about it is that it keeps the memory of County Stadium alive.
It really does.
Or perhaps that's the worst thing about it, depending on who you talk to.
And everybody has their favorite fat fan in the stands during that
yeah.
the big moment at the end.
Yeah, I love. There's if you watch it, and this is proof I've seen the movie way too much. But there's a scene where right at the end when they're filming Renee Russo coming out of the stands.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So she's there and she shows Jake Taylor the ring, or Tom Berenger, the actor, that she doesn't have a ring on. And this really obese guy who just should not be jiggling, but he is, jumps out of the stands and onto the field like, woo, we won! Almost a little effeminate, you know? And then in the next scene, he's back because they cut to Jake and he smiles like, oh, you didn't marry the douchebag. And then he goes, they flash back to her and the fat guy's behind her standing, so there's a double cut.
Yeah.
You get two obese, gray-shirted fat guys. And I bet that guy just plays, I bet he has it on his wall on a continuous loop. Like he made it twice and they screwed up the edit.
Well, my social studies teacher was in Last of the Mohicans. He's one of those crazy Revolutionary War reenactment dudes.
Oh, God.
And
at least he's not a Civil War reenactment dude.
Right. But, so, once a year in his class, he'd put that in and try to point out which shadow he was during the nighttime raid. God. Yeah, if you've been in a movie, you pretty much freak out, don't you? Anyway, so we're talking about the Brewers, and I'm not excited at all for the year. Yeah, opening day will be fun, and there'll be the bunting. Not that the Brewers will bunt, but, the actual bunting around the stadium, because we know Ken Maka doesn't play small ball. What's this? Some cheesy Brewers song?
Oh, yeah, you know what? I didn't, I messed it up because I didn't connect it to the system. Go ahead, I'll do that. You keep talking.
I have no clue what that was. So anyway, but, yeah, I just look at that rotation, and there's Giovanni Gallardo, and there's Randy Wolf, and then, I don't know. What's left? Doug Davis might win you 10 games and walk 6 guys per outing.
I mean, I totally agree. I used to absolutely hate watching Doug Davis pitch, no matter how good he was, because it was just awful. Mm-hmm. He did. I mean, it slowed the game down, walked 100 guys because he was not going to give in, and he goes 6 innings, give up 3 runs, and maybe get the win. And after last year, I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it.
But if you have Brewers tickets and you see that Doug Davis is the probable starter, you try to sell those as quick as possible because it's going to be a 5 to 6 hour affair.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to get rid of that. Okay, so we just named 3 guys.
That's what I was playing. Brewers turn up the heat.
Is this a new song?
It's not new. It's been around, but they play it on their promos.
Oh, I know. It's on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Okay. I don't watch that channel other than games.
No, who
does? Is there
does?
anything else to watch?
No.
All right. So I'm through 3 guys in rotation, and then it's just question mark city. The only guy of that group who's not a question mark is Jeff Suppan. He's answered the question. He's just terrible.
He is awful.
He is bad.
I know that he's using. Well, he was hurt last year. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Now he's getting lit up in spring training, which of course doesn't count.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. It doesn't count.
But
it doesn't matter. But here's the thing.
Would it be nice if he was having a spring, though, opposite of what he had for a season last year?
No. You know why? Because then I might try to get my hopes up about something. It's like I've decided that I cannot, because here's the thing. You have to talk about it because, we're in this world of talking about things on a daily basis. And this is what's going on right now, like in the NFL exhibition season. Oh, he looks good. Oh, why can't they do this? And it's the it doesn't matter at all. It does not matter. The Packers had a dominant exhibition season, got off to a 4-4 start.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter, and it doesn't matter in baseball even more. You're worried. The only things you're worried about in baseball are like velocity, and if guys look good and stay healthy. I mean, I don't. Okay. But Jeff Suppan has neither. He doesn't have any velocity.
No.
He can't hit the strike zone because he's a lot like Doug Davis, except not as effective.
Yeah.
And he just gets lit up, and I'm sick of it. Whatever. The Brewers signed him. They thought he would be a 3rd starter. He's disappointed even that.
Yeah.
you're going to have to just deal with him in the bullpen and move on because you can't have him in the rotation. If you have him in the rotation, right now there's a glimmer of hope for me that maybe like Randy Wolf and Doug Davis can give you quality starts and Parra can figure some things out.
No.
I know, that's the hope.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, this is the hope, right?
Yeah.
And that Yovani Gallardo...
What about Narveson?
Whatever. Yovani Gallardo takes a step and becomes the ace. I mean, the real ace. He's certainly close.
Yeah.
And that can be enough to have their prolific offense. I'm using that word a lot these days. But, they have what looks to be another great offense. Score enough runs so that they can win 88 games. That's the hope in my heart for this team. But if Suppan makes his way into the rotation, besides anything but an emergency, spot starter because 4 other guys are hurt, the Brewers are done.
Yep.
Forget it, because he just can't have that.
All right. So that's the key to the season. I don't disagree with you. It seems pretty easy because the guy's making $2 million per earned run in his average.
Right.
So if Jeff Suppan becomes a regular starter, the Brewers are screwed.
Oh God, or even a stretch.
Right.
Where he has to start. I think they're screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, that
seems good.
I hope I'm proven wrong on that because he's, costing him $12 million this year.
No, you hope that you're proven right on that as long as he stays out of the rotation.
Yeah, you're right.
I hope you're right on that too. And I hope Dave Bush goes back to 2008 Dave Bush.
Okay, all the ifs, right? Let's play the if game because that's what we do in the spring. If game. Here we go. Have some music? No, I don't. Okay, here's the deal. If Gallardo becomes an ace, if Parra figures it out and at least becomes what Gallardo was last year or somewhere close in that range, okay? Because he has the talent.
Right.
Yeah, everybody does. If Wolf and Davis can have the same seasons they had last year, which were average to good.
And that won't happen.
And if Bush can be the way he was from Dave Bush June 2008 to June 2009, which was actually really good.
It was.
Then the Brewers have a chance to be in the playoffs. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. That's way too many ifs.
Yeah.
Way too many
and
ifs.
It's all concentrated in one part of your team. It's all
because I'm counting on the offense with Braun Fielder in a healthy weeks.
Yeah.
Healthy weeks.
Yeah.
And Corey Hart motivated by the fact that everybody hates him.
Oh.
And Casey McGee continuing to do what he did last year at third base. I mean, there's
Escobar being an upgrade, hopefully.
And Escobar's short, both sides defensive because he has more range than J.J. Hardy did too. But I mean, those are the hopes, right?
Greg Zahn ripping the cover off the ball.
Spring training.
Hey, you know what?
Spring training.
He's got power at least. He might be a threat with guys on base.
He might be 105 years old.
Yeah.
But he does have power. I mean, he doesn't when Jason Kendall would really get into one.
Yeah.
Your best hope.
Shortstop would drift a few feet onto the outfield.
Your best hope, and this actually did happen about a handful of times last year. It did, because I watched way too much baseball. It did happen. He'd hit a fly ball, and the outfielder would be so stunned because he thought he could just take the time off that it would get over his head.
Yeah.
But that did happen because he plays them way shallow. There's no way that Jason Kendall was ever going to get a Texas leaguer to fall because the outfielder has him shaded about 100 feet in.
Yeah. It's really just an extension of second base.
I think so. Yeah. So that is nice that Zahn has a little pop at least.
Right.
Because, man, that position was lacking in need of pop.
Yeah.
So I know that there's still some ifs offensively, but you always have a story like Casey McGee last year who comes up and hits 300.
You hope you have a story like Casey McGee.
Well, but it usually happens.
Yeah.
Somewhere it usually happens. There's a disappointment, and then there's a guy like McGee. Look, if the Brewers had pitching last year, they would have been a very good team because they still had a great offense. So, I think they'll have that again. The whole thing is pitching. I'm just responding to your point that that's all we're talking about with
and
the
that's
ifs.
all we should talk about. Yeah. That should be part of their slogan. Like, it's all about the pitching.
We're taking this thing national. Remember that?
No. Maybe some sort of collector of crappy Brewers.
That's all there is crappy Brewers slogans and songs. Remember that, 98?
No.
We're taking this. Then when they went to the National League.
No, I didn't listen to this crap.
I don't think this was. I don't think this song was out then. But the slogan was, "We're taking."
Okay,
forget it.
Would that also be considered un-American then? Right?
I don't know.
Because they weren't in the American League anymore.
We're taking this thing militia. Is that what you're saying?
Could be.
We're the free agents. Ben Ricci's at talk.com. But that's the story of the Brewers. And it's been a very uneventful spring.
And that's why we haven't been talking about the Brewers very much because it's pretty obvious. You read in the newspaper, talk about it with your friends. We talk about it. Pitching. They can find pitchers.
Yeah,
they're good.
Well, I know that once April and May hits, and the hardcore Brewer fans live and die with every game.
We'll talk about it more.
But yeah, it's tough right now because again, there's no big storyline besides who's going to be in the rotation coming out of spring. I mean, there's not much. Ryan Braun's healthy.
Scott Schoenweiss is pissed.
Yeah.
Jim Edmonds might make the team.
And then if he does make the team, it's no guarantee he'll agree to stay on the team because he's feeling the pull of family.
Is that what Jim Edmonds said?
Yeah.
Well, Jim, just play. I want to see Jim Edmonds dog routine fly balls in center field in Milwaukee just so he can make the spectacular catch. I love that about the guy.
It's spectacular.
Yep.
It's a reason to stand up and cheer. We're the free agents, Ben and Reed. Go Brewers, cheeseheadtalk.com.